Okay, working here with Nick Wiesner. He is a 9.5 handicap index, generally a mid to upper 80s kind of golfer. Handicap index is a little bit low right now, just I think based on a few new good rounds and also with the new World Handicap System update, but is typically like that mid to high 80s kind of golfer. Struggles with ball striking issues, relatively decent around the greens. We did discuss some wedge versatility just to work on some different ball flights, different types of shots, but overall the main issue to help improve him long term is going to be improving his ball striking. Take a look at a video right here. As you can see, not a bad motion, but a lot of what we kind of refer to as saving rather than releasing the club face. Kind of come through right here. Upon the initial look, you can see coming a little bit steep, a little bit around his body with his hands, and then this motion through is kind of what we kind of refer to as that chicken wing motion. You can see by that left elbow right about there. A little bit of that chicken wing motion kind of going on, and a lot of that just stems from coming in a little bit steep, swinging a little out to in, and as a result, everyone naturally, innately will kind of hold that left arm through as to not hit a severe pull. And see that face remain square. So what we did to kind of fix that is, starting from the beginning, is we got that club face to open up just a little bit more by weakening his right hand, getting that right hand going a little bit more clockwise and underneath the grip. That helped open the face a little bit. In addition to that, we had him reach for the ball a little bit more, create a little bit more of this gap right here. Before it was just a little bit smaller, probably more in that kind of area. And just standing a little closer to the ball is going to generally lead to a steeper motion. So by standing a little further away and weakening that right hand, create a little more of an opening and closing of the club face and improved his path a little bit. But there's still some room to work, and that's going to start really with his body motion. So you can see his legs very straight here, not a lot of athletic motion. So we talked about creating a little more of a athletic setup here. Still feel free to stand a little more upright, kind of like what he's doing, but by getting a little more of that knee flex, it'll allow for just a little bit more rotation in that lower body, because as we go to the top here, see, that's about the maximum that he can rotate. Some flexibility stuff. We talked about maybe doing some TPI workouts and meeting up with Shannon, our director of fitness, but more or less to really help create more of a shadowing position, this club needs to be more up here, because what will happen is the club will like to oscillate. So if he creates a little more rotation in his body and gets a little bit more around it here, get that right hip a little deeper, a little more in this area, what that's going to do is that's going to get the club up in where that blue dot is, or the blue circle, and then as he transfers, the club's going to want to work more this way as opposed to where it goes right now, which is this way. Right, so the red is bad, blue is what we're striving for, and so instead of working that club, because the inside takeaway here is honestly fine as long as that face was a little bit more on the open side, but the issue is that it goes here and kind of rolls to the top because of a lack of body rotation. So if we create a little more extra turn, get that club head setting higher, more above his head, the transition and pivot motion would kind of shallow that club out, so then as he got into impact, instead of coming in more from across and behind this green line, he would work more this way, and that way the ball would start a little bit more on line. So I know that's a lot of lines, but essentially, instead of the club working here to here, we're going to try to have it work more here to there. Okay, so continue to work on that a little bit, and we'll follow up, but just want to see that club work a little bit more in this area at the top, so a little more rotation, so that way as he starts the downswing, there's more pivot. Okay, any questions, just give me a shout.